Hey friends, I'm Katie. I learned English entirely by myself, without a conversation partner and without living in an English-speaking country. In my room, I practiced real English. I would imitate and repeat native speakers in real time. And this is called shadowing. Shadowing plays a huge role in my success. I was relentlessly obsessed with shadowing. I shadowed Taylor Swift so much so that I became Taylor Swift.
What's the first thing you do when you get an idea for a song?
I record a voice memo of myself singing it, or I write it down in my notes. Shadowing improves everything about your speaking, but only if you do it right. And this is what we're gonna do in this video. I'll show you how to shadow effectively. I'll give you some tips to optimize your shadowing practice. And the best part, I'll also show you the best materials and resources to use for shadowing, like videos, movies, and so on. So let's get straight into it. Let's see why shadowing works. If you know me well, you know you can't get me to do something if I don't know why it works. So first, it improves your pronunciation. Shadowing trains the muscles in your mouth, so English starts to come out naturally and automatically. So instead of thinking, oh, how do I say this word? Your mouth knows what to do. Your speaking starts to sound more natural because your brain learns to copy the flow of real speech, not the individual words. So your rhythm improves as well. You see, when you just focus on words and sentences, you lose the emotion behind them. That's why many learners, including me in the past, end up sounding flat and even robotic when they speak. It makes you to become more confident because when you realize that you can keep up with a native speaker, even if it's a bit messy, you naturally gain the confidence to speak in real situations. You'll have better listening skills. Your ear becomes tuned to the melody, rhythm, stress of English. And this is something that is very taught in classes. So you listen closely and then immediately imitate, right? And doing this improves your active listening and helps your language production become automatic, which both are really essential for fluency. And it activates your passive vocabulary. You see, when you pronounce a word as you hear it, your brain is more likely to move it from simply just recognizing it to actually using it. In other words, passive turns active. All right, now let's talk about how to do shadowing. And it's actually super fun. We have two ways to do shadowing. First, instant shadowing. So play a video and repeat what the speaker says right after that. Don't pause, just echo their words almost instantly, like you're a split second behind them. And you don't need perfect imitation. Just keep up with the speaker, catch the general meaning. You don't need to understand everything word by word. So focus on melody, rhythm, stress, and the speed of speech.
It isn't true what they
say
that you can't love anyone until you love yourself. Have you heard that?
Have you heard that?
Some people say you have to learn to love yourself before you can love anybody else.
Before you can love anybody else.
But it's not true.
But it's not true.
I loved everybody before I loved
everybody before I loved myself. This method reduces the processing load. You get used to the rhythm of the language without too much pressure. So it strengthens your pronunciation without overthinking. So when you're in a real conversation, your attention is no longer on pronunciation. Your mouth does it automatically. So you become more fluent and your hesitation decreases. It's wonderful. Now, instant shadowing is something that you can do while driving, walking, or doing the dishes. It's so convenient. But when you do the instant shadowing, there are 3 rules that you have to follow, which many learners don't do, and they really matter. Rule number 1, speak out loud. Don't whisper. You need to clearly hear your own voice. Let me explain. To improve, your brain needs feedback. When you mumble or whisper, the sound is too weak. You can't hear your own pronunciation, your mistakes, right? But when you speak out loud, your brain instantly compares the native speaker's voice with your own voice. And this comparison is what makes fast improvement. Look, this is so funny. I remember one time I saw a woman riding a bicycle with a large speaker. playing something while repeating some words and acting them out. As she got closer, I noticed she was wearing a sign that said, "I'm not crazy. I'm just practicing shadowing." It was hilarious. She couldn't wear headphones, but I guess she skipped headphones so she could hear her own voice loud and clear. Rule number 2, mistakes don't matter. When you're shadowing and make a mistake or trip over a word, don't stop to fix them. Mistakes don't matter. Keep going even if it's messy. And rule number 3, repeat many times. You have to shadow the same text or video multiple times. Each repetition improves your pronunciation, your melody, and coordination. So don't rush. The next way of shadowing is called controlled shadowing. This one works best when you're focused, when you're sitting at your desk or your couch with the script in front of you. For this one, you need the script or subtitles. So play a line with subtitles, pause, and then say it yourself, just like acting out a scene.
I am so focused on myself and me
I'm so focused on myself and me
that I make my problems special.
that I make my problems special.
My pain is special,
My pain is special,
and my suffering is special.
and my suffering is special. Now, to optimize your controlled shadowing, there are 2 rules that you have to follow. First, set a clear intention to focus on vocabulary, sentences, and grammar structures, not just melody and rhythm. You have time to do it. You're seated at your desk with a script in front of you, so try to concentrate on the language that you're saying. It works wonders. I remember a time when I decided to set a clear intention to focus on grammar and how they build their sentences during shadowing. And oh boy, I had a lot of aha moments. You see, I was shadowing, so I wasn't just listening passively. I was following the character, following the story, becoming the character. So suddenly, all those grammar patterns that had confused me kind of for years started clicking. I was like, wait, that's how they use the structure? Why didn't anyone tell me this before? Well, even if hundreds of people tell you something or teach you something, it only truly makes sense when you feel it yourself. It will be like you've just discovered it for the first time. And the second rule, when you're doing controlled shadowing and can't pronounce the word exactly like a native speaker, keep playing it and repeating it over and over until it at least sounds close. Don't worry about being perfect. Just train your mouth and your brain to work together. Let's start with some videos for instant shadowing. For this type of shadowing, you need videos where the speaker's pace and clarity make it possible to follow a half a second behind without dying. So your first option can be TED Talks. You already know TED Talks are gold. Your next option can be TED Ed, which focuses on educational videos. They represent an idea with great speaking clarity, and the videos are simple and short, which are perfect when you don't have much time. Next, The School of Life, one of my all-time favorites. Slow, emotional, philosophical. If you shadow these narrations, you'll get a lot of life wisdom. You'll gain a lot of insight about life. Next, The Bright Side. The Bright Side videos are great because the topics are fun and easy to follow, and the vocabulary is simple and useful for everyday English. Next, National Geographic. Narrations here are amazing. Slow pace, perfect pronunciation, beautiful rhythm. If you're interested in nature, wildlife, documentaries, these are great to shadow. Now let's talk about some videos that are great for controlled shadowing, where you can play a video with subtitles, play a line, pause, and then copy the natural English that people actually use. You can go for The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. It's classic. You've got celebrities, stories, and jokes. It's real conversational English, perfect for shadowing one line at a time. A quick reminder, when you watch a video to practice controlled shadowing, just make sure to pick some calm parts. Don't try to shadow a full monologue all at once. It would be too overwhelming. 73 questions Vogue. I love this one. Short, clear, and structured interviews. One question at a time. Pause, repeat, shadow, and done. Next, Diary of a CEO with Stephen Bartlett. Interviews are calm, story-based, and motivational. Actors and actors. This one is fun because you get two actors naturally talking about life, movies, acting. Sometimes it's fast, sometimes it's slow. That's why controlled shadowing works perfectly here. All right, I'm gonna give you one extra tip to optimize your controlled shadowing. When you shadow talk shows or movies, which I personally think talk shows work the best, pick one character to focus on. So you can be the host asking questions or the guest telling stories. So that was the two ways of shadowing: instant shadowing and controlled shadowing. But here's a tip. When you do shadowing, notice how the speaker shows their emotion. Like, how do they sound when they're happy or they're angry, being sarcastic, telling a joke, or even ordering a coffee? So don't just copy their words, copy the speaker's vibe, feeling, and attitude. That's how you get your English to sound more natural. Your sentences and your vibe won't be stiff or like textbooks. All right, that's it for today's video. If you are interested in this video, you might be interested in this video as well. I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.